Chapter 1 Unmasking the Myth. These are the facts about how to be great in the job at the top, but they're not what most people think. Running a business, and doing it extraordinarily well, isn't a full-time job. Instead, running a business is an explicit skill that takes dedicated, assiduous thought and conditioning, and this skill is different from the ones needed for every other job in the company. It's easy to learn and fun to do, but it's not taught anywhere except in this book. Therefore, many CEOs spend most of their time doing things that have little to do with their highest responsibility, which is running their companies. And so they miss the greatest contributions they could possibly make. On only the rarest of occasions has anyone questioned the following proclamation, which I make at the beginning of most speaking engagements. I believe it without reservation. The single greatest determinant of business success is the job at the top. Nothing else even comes close. Audiences nod thoughtfully, indicating solemn understanding and alignment with what seems to them a near spiritual truth. What comes next is curious, and perhaps equally predictable. Nonetheless, it's a surprise to everyone else in the room, because it exposes a grand and pervasive charade, and it catches them all in their complicity. A simple follow-up question triggers the moment. It's only 6 words, only one with more than a single syllable. How do you run a business? No audience has ever offered a response. From the podium, I see chins snap up and eyes pop wide in surprise. Then there's an awkward pause. Attention shifts from me as people look at their shoes, befuddled. I call this the greatest question never asked. And when I ask individuals rather than audiences, I get the same 2 reactions. One is incredulity, disbelief that anyone would have the audacity to ask a stranger such a thing. As if I'd asked, "How did life start?" or "What is love?" The other reaction is offense. This reaction is typified by the guy whose whole face squinches around the narrow slits his eyes have become. His posture is grim as he sits expressionless behind crossed arms. But then a light goes off. Reaching clumsily for his wallet, he steps forward, and with relief, he pushes a business card triumphantly into my face. "See? It says right here, CEO. I know how to do that job." The fact is that few of us, even those who've been at it a long time and have generated great results, can explain how we do the job at the top. But I can. Not because I'm any smarter than anyone else, but because it's been my conscious obsession over 2.5 decades. I'm passionate about running companies and teaching others how to do it. This obsession has even exceeded my interest in generating exceptional financial results. Fortunately, those results have always followed. The next chapter takes a hard look at the customs we take for granted as truths about how to do the job at the top. These are things we seldom even consider questioning. But they're also things that we know aren't getting the job done. The chapter addresses directly, not obliquely, challenges we seldom discuss, except in confidence with others who are facing situations like our own. How to motivate our teams to higher achievement. How to move our businesses forward, at the pace and with the performance we've committed to. Chapter 2 opens you up to questioning the ideals and the models we've elevated to the status of natural law in running our organizations. Chapter 3 lays out a simple, fresh, and effective framework for how to approach the job at the top. It's a zoomed-out version of a roadmap for getting good, really good at it, in less time than you'd ever imagined. Subsequent chapters zoom back in to give you focused views on more specific headings, food along the trail, and waypoints for your journey.